Welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Revelry, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Today is Tuesday, the 5th of March, 2019. Happy Fat Tuesday. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. How is everybody? So today has been a little bit rocky. I went out to my car, got the kids situated inside the house to be prepared to go outside, and I knew it was going to be cold this morning, so I went out a couple minutes early to start my car. Nothing. I left my heated blanket on overnight. I use it so that in the parent pickup line I don't have to have my car running for 45 minutes or whatever, or however long I'm there early. But normally I drive a boy and his dad, who's the custodian. I drive them home because they don't have a car. And normally they get in the car, I turn off my blanket, and then my kids get in the car and we go. They got in the car last, so it didn't trigger the turn off the blanket switch in my brain. So yeah. So my car battery was dead, and I'm highly distracted with people and dogs walking through my house. My boyfriend came home from work on time instead of late-ish, which is fine. He's a manager. Sometimes he has to stay late. But he was on time, so he was actually home. So everything was fine. We got to school later than usual, but still on time. Also, this week, I was going to take my kids to see How to Train Your Dragons 3 on Sunday. And then they both ditched me instead of going to the movies with me. And I know this is going to happen, but it's the first time that both of them have ditched me at once. And so, I was really in my feelings about it. I was very mopey. I could have taken myself to the movies, I guess, but I didn't. Take myself to the movies later without them when I plan to. But yeah, my daughter wanted to go hang out at my mom's house, and my son was going to come with me until his friend came to our door, and then he was like, well, I think I'm just not going to go to the movies. I'm not ready for that. I mean, I am. I'm glad that they have their own lives and their own things, but you can't break your plans with your mom. It's fine. It's fine. So, podcasty things. Are you ready? Super exciting news. Kat from Cattails Yarns has sent a coupon code over this way for us in her Etsy shop. And it is BunniPhish MCal, all one word, all caps. You get 15% off your order through April 30th. My dog is settling. She already settled. She's resettling. So that coupon code does not cover kits. She has several kits in the shop, 3 of which I've previously purchased, and they're beautiful. And in addition to that news, she will also be making kits of the yarn that I used for my mystery shawl design. So yeah, she'll be making kits of that for purchase, and I will let you know when those go live. She said sometime later this week, so keep an eye on Instagram. I will put the information in the enabler thread so you can find that there. And yeah, go buy her stuff because it is super, super beautiful. Super beautiful. We're talking about fun things that are not yet knitting. I am wearing this earring and it's super sparkly, and I'm sure you've noticed it because it's swinging there, and I've not put the other one on because I wanted to show it to you. Kendra over at Hooked by Happenstance made me some beautiful earrings. Love these. Look at those beads. They're so pretty. And it says wish on this silverish bead. So I'm going to put that in now. But she made me 2 pairs of earrings. So a green wish pair and a rainbow pair with stars. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, if you haven't checked out her shop, go check out her shop also, because her shop is pretty amazing. You can see project bag, right? That way. Yep, there. That one. The mermaid one. Pointing is hard. It's super hard. Anyway, I super love the earrings. I think they're beautiful. And yeah, go check out her stuff. So, I have some finished things today. I have the In and Out socks by Cookie A. So last week I was here with both socks, right? Because I worked them magic loop down the feet after I did the legs. Or did I only have one leg last week? I don't remember. I think that I must have had both legs, because there's no way that I did a leg and both feet in a week. So must have been on 2 legs, worked, ready to go 2 at a time on the feet. This pattern is really, really beautiful. I made some modifications, or a modification, not some, just one. So it's all over ribbing and increases and decreases to make it look like cables. There are no actual cables in this sock. I changed across the foot. Let me put it on my hand so you can kind of see better. Across the foot, you start a new ribbing panel as you decrease out the other one. So like that. So this pattern in her, or this panel in her pattern is an irregular 3x2 rib. I didn't want to think as I was doing. Once I got down to this part right here, I didn't reference the pattern any longer because I already knew what I was doing for the charts. Except I would have had to think about this ribbing pattern coming in, and I didn't want to think about it. So I just knit a 2x2 rib across there, and nobody's gonna know the difference if I didn't tell you that that's not how the pattern has it. I guess there was another notable difference. I knit pretty much all of my socks for feet that are around my size foot at 60 stitches. This is a 66 stitch cast on, which is fine for a leg. I think it's nice when legs they fit well, but they're not too snug, especially because this is a gift. And with such a long leg, I didn't want it to be too tight because I didn't take calf measurements or anything like that. So it's a 66 stitch. So when I got down to the foot, I decreased the sole to 28 stitches and left the extra stitches on the top to make it a 60 stitch sock all the way around, so that it would best fit a foot that is approximately my size. The yarn that I used is Knit Picks Hawthorne it's a tonal, and it's in the Hood River color, and my hair is apparently all over it. That's what happens when your hair is this long. It gets everywhere. Anyway, it was a really enjoyable knit. I did the legs on 9-inch circs. I did the feet on 2 at a time. And I worked them on US 1, 2.25 millimeter. I know that I said that I was going to work them on size 0 for the feet, but I couldn't find my needle, my circular for that. I found it after I was about halfway through the foot, and I was like, that's fine. It'll be good enough. The fabric isn't like super duper loose or anything. And they're going to someone who lives in Florida, so how much wear is she really going to get out of these? Like not how much wear. How often is she really going to be wearing them? Are they going to wear out in less than a year? Is kind of what my question to myself was. I have started so many things because it's the first week of the month. So first up, let's show you this knit this whole sock. And as you can tell, it is slightly smaller than this sock. Slightly though, it's not much smaller. It's still a women's size 6 sock, so it's just a little bit smaller, but it is on Peyton's Croy yarn, the sock yarn, in the brown rose marl colorway. And I knit this with, because it's more of a sport weight yarn, I knit it on size 1 circular, and I went down to 54 stitches, something like that. Smaller stitch count because it's bigger yarn and a slightly smaller foot. This is my sister's shoe size. She wears a 6, I wear an 8. This is not for her. This is for her daughter. Why? Why are all of the children becoming huge except for Mara? Mara is still dinky. She wears like a size 2 in kids, but all of the older kids now wear adult shoes. I'm not ready for them to grow up. I keep vacillating between being super excited that like they're growing up and they're independent and they're going to have their lives and do their things separate from me. And then I'm like, but they don't think they're my babies still, and they're always going to be my babies. So it's fine. I think it's a mom moment. I think most moms know this moment, and I'm just in it right this minute. So I finished the first sock. Here is the second sock. I know it's been a week, I've almost finished a whole pair of socks in the time I haven't seen you. This will be finished for sure by next week. I'm going to probably finish the heel before I go into work today so that I'm just zooming up the leg at work. Part of the reason why this sock is zooming is because in the zombie apocalypse knit along for the teams, I'm on Team Beach. Yay, Team Beach! The challenge, the extra challenge for March and April is socks, shawls, and sweaters. So you get bonus points for knitting in those categories, or finishing or crocheting, knitting, crocheting, finishing in those categories. And I only had one sock on the needle. So of course, as soon as I saw that that was a challenge, I stopped working on these. So I did not finish these in February as I had planned, because then they wouldn't have counted for special bonus points. So I got to I think I got to here. It got like halfway down the foot, and then I finished them early on February 1st, or not February, March 1st. I was like, zoom, zoom, bonus points. So instead of working on those socks, I cast on 4 pairs of socks. I'm only going to show you 2, so this is one of them. The other 2 have officially been started. One has both toes finished, and one has the cuffs cast on but not finished. So I'll show you those when I work on them. But yeah, I was like, well, instead of finishing, let me just cast on all the things so that they're easy to pick up, because I don't know how other people feel about starting new projects, like anything. I don't like it. I don't like the process of starting new projects. I like the joy of new projects and working on new things, but I don't like sorry, I am doing a fish lips kiss heel, and apparently I can't do this part of the step without looking at my work while I'm talking to you. So rude. I don't enjoy the process of starting. The first row or round of anything is just not fun. It's tedious, and every time I teach a class, or teach someone how to do something, they're like, this is horrible, I hate this, when they're starting. And I'm like, no, 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 just get past the first row. I promise the second row is like half as hard, for sure, right? Everybody knows this. The setup is just, it's just not good. It's just not. So that's why I cast on 4 new socks. And then also that means I already know the needles are in the projects. They're already in project bags. I can just grab those and go if, for instance, I can't take this, or if I finish this, you know, then I can immediately pick up the next one and go. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. So one of the other pairs of socks that I started on, less impressive in terms of um, progress, but I really only worked on it yesterday. Like I cast on the toes and then I worked on it yesterday and I didn't even finish the toes on whatever day that was. Stitch marker down. So this is a textured pattern, as you can see, kind of. It is called Golden Ticket by Lisa K. Ross. It's part of the Socks of Wonka collection. And with all those stitch markers in the way, it makes it hard to see. But there's kind of, you can kind of see texture here with bands on either side. Then it goes into a new texture that you can't really see because I'm only 2 rounds into that. I am knitting this using Premier Serenity sock in the gray flannel colorway. I love it. I love grays. I love flannel, obviously. So this is super pretty. These are going to be for my son for Christmas. I decided that I would make him fancy socks because he loves hand knit socks. Whenever they're clean, those are the ones that he puts on his feet. And I'm carrying that in a ZK 2017. Why can't I think of the maker? It's Amy's mom from the Stockinette Zombies. What's her name? Silvershed USA. That is the bag maker behind this little bag that I'm carrying this sock around. And this sock takes a little, obviously a little more concentration than this sock. So I don't carry it around as much. It doesn't take a lot of concentration though. I am just barely into the first pattern repeat of like the main motif. The way the sock works is it has the bands around the toe area, like right by the toe of a pattern, and then a different body pattern, and then it repeats that same motif around the cuff area. So I'm 2 rows into the first, or the main body motif. I think once I knit through the whole motif once, I won't have to reference the pattern anymore. It's very intuitive. It makes a lot of sense. I just need to, my hands need to do it before I can not look at the pattern for a while. And then talking about the knit along for socks, shawls, and sweaters, I'm still working on the mystery knit along sample. It's moving. I'm getting there. I'm very close to the end. But I've also started 2 sweaters. Because go big or go home, right? And I do plan on finishing all of the whips that I'm showing you before the end of the month. And hopefully also those other 2 pairs of socks that I cast on. Whatever. It's me. If I stay focused, I should be able to handle it, right? Yeah. Just tell me I'm right. Tell me I can get 2 sweaters, 4 pairs of socks, and a something else finished. I'll show you the something else in a minute. But I am going to, well, I have started a sweater for my son, and it is crocheted, so it will go super fast. I did all of this I started it on Sunday, and then I did the rest of it yesterday, and I didn't really focus on it. I just did a round here and there, so it should go pretty fast. I am 2/3 of the way through the yoke of the sweater because he is only 10, so it's not a full grown-up size sweater. And I've checked the fit on him. I just walked up to him and plopped it over his head while he was doing something and then walked away and didn't say anything because whatever, he knows he's getting a sweater, so it's not that weird. So yeah, once I get through the yoke, of course it'll zoom because I'll take off the sleeves, and it's super fast anyway. It is, what is this, like a worsted or Aran? It's Karen 1 pound. and the colorway is Midnight Blue because I wanted to make him a navy sweater so that he could wear it to school, because the uniform colors are for sweaters he could have black, gray, or navy, and I didn't want to make a black one. So I offered him navy or gray, and he picked navy. And so this is what he's getting. He's pretty excited about it. He decided he wanted a pullover. I knew that I was going to crochet it because I did not want to commit myself to making 2 knit sweaters this month. The sweater that I'm making him is called Caramel by Anna Erlandson, hooked by Anna. And I decided that I wanted to make a crocheted sweater for him because I did not want to commit myself to making 2 knit sweaters this month. And I want to finish both sweaters this month so that they can be worn before it gets hot. I got a new ball of Caron 1 pound because I didn't have any navy in my stash, because I don't keep a lot of acrylic in my stash, especially with the knit club. If I have partial balls of acrylic, they mostly just get donated to the school, and I just buy what I need when I need a specific color. So for his size, the pattern says that I'm going to need 600 yards, and the yarn comes in 812 yard giant, what is that called? A skein. So I'm thinking that maybe next month, I might make Mara a crocheted sweater with short sleeves though, because we'll be moving into warmer months, but she is always cold until it's summertime, and she's tiny. Like, she's 8, but she can fit into size 4 clothing. I mean, it's like tighter, but it's not obscenely tight, but it's super short on her. So yeah, I think I can easily use the rest of this ball of yarn to make her a school sweater that she can wear. Even something like I made my niece the granny square sweater, I could make her one of those with the rest of this. So that's probably what I'm going to do in April. This is using I'm using a size I hook. I think the pattern calls for a size J, but the fabric that I'm getting with this is fine. I mean, obviously it's not a super tight fabric, but he's going to be wearing it over a uniform shirt anyway, so it's okay that it's kind of see-through-ish. I just know that I'm a looser crocheter and knitter than most people write patterns for. So I went down. It also calls for a size H for the neckband and the cuffs. I don't think I'm going to do the neckband on the sweater because the neckband comes up to like here. It's kind of a mock turtleneck sort of style, and they wear these collared shirts to school. Their polo shirts are the uniform shirts. So I think I'm just going to leave that detail out and let the neckline be low enough so that collar can sit nicely over it, because that's a look that I like. I let my son decide whether he wanted a pullover or a cardigan because I found a really, really cute cardigan for kids, maybe for adults. I don't know. I was looking specifically at kids' patterns, so I don't know if it sizes all the way up. But it's knit like side to side, or not knit, crocheted side to side, so the lines went differently, and I just really, really liked the look of it. So I might make that for him next year, or like in wintertime. We'll see, because I really, really like the look of it, even though he wanted a pullover instead of a cardigan. My other sweater project is for me, and it is knit, and the yarn is fancy. I am making the $5 in Paris by Anna Malazewski. So the yarn that I'm using is absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful. It is from Wolfiend, and tag, Wolfiend, in the Pure Decay base, in the Fangorn colorway, like the forest from Lord of the Rings. So beautiful. I have 4 skeins of this, so I don't know how long my $5 in Paris is going to be. I mean, it could theoretically be a cropped sweater. I have decent yardage. It's 231 yards per cake of DK. So it'll be a decent tea sweater, especially because the $5 in Paris is a short sleeved sweater. This was actually my first sweater that I ever knit. I made a $5 in Paris for my sister, and so I knew right off the bat when I was going to make this for myself that I needed to make a modification. First thing, so I did not do the cast on as recommended. I did half of the stitches for the cast on. And then on the second round, I increased using, so that I could double it, I did, and it goes into a 2x2 ribbing. I did knit 1, and then knit in front and back, and then yarn over. So then when I got to the next round, it was knit 2, purl 2, all the way around. And you can't tell that there's yarn overs in the cast on edge. And I really like the ribbing on my sister's sweater, but it definitely, and it says right in the pattern that it's the ribbing is really loose, but it was like fall off the shoulders loose, especially because I have narrow shoulders for my frame. Like this measurement and this measurement is smaller compared to like this measurement for like proportionally. So yeah, I did that, and I think it should work. I'm going to, once I get more than just a couple or an inch of ribbing done, once I get into the main body, maybe I'm not even going to try it on until sleeves, but I'm definitely going to try it on before I knit the whole thing so that I can see if it's going to stay, if it's going to slide, if it fits well. So that was modification number 1. Modification number 2 is I'm using a DK. The pattern calls for a worsted to Aran. It calls for Caron Simply Soft. This is a lighter yarn, so I went down to, I think the pattern recommends like 8s and 9s to knit on. I'm knitting the ribbing on a size 4, and I'm going to go up to a size 6 for the body. I'm liking the fabric that I'm getting on the 4s. I did not swatch because live dangerously, I guess. I don't know. I do swatch sometimes, but not very often. And it's fine. It'll be fine. Or it's going to end horribly in like a fiery explosion of rage. Who knows? But I'm not going to swatch. I'm going to knit and hope that it turns out all right. So I'm also knitting, I knit the size medium for my sister using all the specifications. So I went up to a size large for the cast on number, and I'm going to use the $5 in Paris pattern as like a general guideline for increases and decreases, and just try it on a bunch to make sure that it's doing what I want it to do. And I plan right now to use every last bit of yarn to make it as long as possible, but if I get down to like where a cropped sweater would end and I don't have that much left, I'm just going to finish it and have it be a cropped sweater. That's my plan. And I'm also going to finish the sleeves before I work the body of the sweater. I will be alternating skeins because it's a hand-dyed yarn, but not in the ribbing. I'm just going to let the ribbing be one ball of yarn and then alternate for the body sections. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this sweater. Do you guys think I could finish it in 12 days so I could wear it for St. Patrick's Day? I would have to like prioritize this knit in order to do that, which I could do. That's not a ridiculous. little hamsters are turning in my brain. I could finish this by St. Patrick's Day. We'll see. Let's see where I am next week when I check in with you guys. The bag that I'm using for this is from Kitchen Counter Crafter. Haley bought me this bag at the second ZK, I think. Sorry. And it was so neglected because I had a project in this bag that hibernated forever. The wing, what is that? The Dreambird shawl was in this bag. So this bag just sat on a shelf with project forever. And I love it. It's so beautiful. It's so well made. And these little chevrons, so first of all, they're little knit chevrons. And second of all, they kind of look like fish swimming. So I'm using it now. The last work in progress I have for you today is another crochet project, because crochet is fast and yardage is what's measured in the knit along for the zombie apocalypse. And also, my daughter's teacher is pregnant with her second daughter. And I love my daughter's teacher. I love all the staff at the school. You guys know this. I've said this so many times, but she is so sweet and so great. And I have made something for, I think she'll be the fourth teacher who's been pregnant since my kids have been there. And I've made something for all of those teachers in the past. I mean, there have been more than 4 teachers who have been pregnant in the past 3 years. It's the staff at the school is, I mean, there's a age range there, but I would say the average teacher there is like right around my age. So right in the child rearing years. So yeah, there's probably been like 8 teachers who have been pregnant or are now pregnant in the past 3 years. It's a lot of babies happening, but only 4 who work with my children directly. So she'll be the 4th one that I will make something for. I started a corner to corner blanket and I went a little nuts with it. This is it. This is how big it's going to be. I think this is a good size for a baby blanket. I had 2 balls of this yarn, which is Bernat Baby Softy in the colorway Princess Pebbles. So I had 2 balls. I did not go all the way to the half point with the first ball, although I went pretty close. What is going on here? What am I looking at? A hot mess. Oh, okay. I see what happened. So it's a good thing I'm doing a border because that looks really weird and not well made. Just that one little thing. Because what you see happened is, I'm going to show you. This stitch got pulled through when it's supposed to be like that. I'll fix it when I do a border. But yeah, so I didn't go all the way to the halfway point. I went probably, I think I went so that I would have been able to do 1 more increase row before I stopped, maybe 1 more increase row in a little bit, because I want to do just a little border, maybe a little picot or maybe crab stitch. You know, I love crab stitch to finish things, just a little something on the edge to make it look a little fancy. But I have already started the decreases. I'm on the 2nd ball of yarn, and I am a quarter of the way by rows through the decrease, which is obviously more than a quarter of the way finished decreasing, because as the rows get shorter, the percentage of yarn, or the percentage of stitches gets smaller. So I'm in a good place. I want to finish this by this week, next week's podcast, just so I can have it done for timeline of all the things I want to get done. That's my plan and my goal, and it's really, really fast and easy. I don't even know how I made the first ball go in 3 days. It's only, I think it's like 300 yards, so 100 yards a day. Worked really, really fast. Um, Whenever my dog stands up, every single time she stands up, she shakes. Every time. Do all dogs do that? I don't recall that being a thing, but every time she always shakes when she stands up. So yeah, it's just a corner to corner blanket. I didn't use a pattern. I didn't even rewatch a tutorial like I did from my corner to corner scrappy blanket. I just remembered how to do it. And then I didn't watch a video on how to go into decreases. I was like, this makes sense. Let's just try this. And it worked. So yay, having experience with that. But if you do want to do a corner to corner crochet blanket, there are tons of YouTube tutorials, and the way it works is you start with just this little cluster right here, and then you build on either side, and then you build again at each corner. So you're increasing by 2 every time, 2 little clusters. And then to decrease, you just decrease 2 clusters from every row. So it works really, really fast. And I think that she will really, really like it. I might also make, I'm thinking, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this? I might also make something for her older daughter, who is still young. She's like 2-ish. I don't know her exact age. I've never met Sydney. I think I've seen her once, and I recall her being quite small. Um, so I'm thinking I might also make her a toy, just something small, something quick, maybe an owl, my owl design, because that works up really, really fast. But it's kind of, I don't want her to feel left out, you know? And I feel like when you're that little, when you see all these presents coming in and they're not for you, you can feel a little left out. So that might be a thing. Let me know what you think. What do you think? Should I make a toy for the sister also? It's probably going to be a thing. Probably. But I'm not 100% on it. So back to administrative stuff. I'm going to chat with you for a second before I let you go. I am super excited for everybody who has come over to chat about the mystery knit along that is going to happen in May. I hope that you are thinking about it. I will, I'll open the spoiler thread probably the first week of April, so you can see. I don't know if I'm going to put the entire shawl, a photo of the entire shawl. Maybe, maybe not. But I will definitely put enough pictures so you can get an idea of what the shawl is going to look like. And I'll put that up in April so that people can figure it out. I do have the shawl out to a test knitter. So she has started it while I am still working on it because, you know, it is a bigger piece and she's busy, which is cool. So no pressure on her to finish it, which is why I sent it to her as soon as she was like, yeah, I might be interested in that, but I'm really busy. So I think she has started, or at least she's pulled her yarn. I'm super enjoying the conversation about that over in the Ravelry group, or you can pop it down below this episode and we can talk about it there. I'm really, really excited for a mystery-ish knit along. And again, Cattails Yarns, you can get 15% off your order. So I will definitely be heading over to her shop to get something for 15% off because all of her stuff is beautiful, even though I still have some of her stuff in my stash that I haven't knit up. Definitely go over and check out her stuff. And yeah, I'm super excited for the mystery knit along. And I'm super glad that some of you are also super excited. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I will see you next week. I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string. Tell me about it below. Bye!